with the cloud characteristics that we talked about earlier. How many of those cloud dimensions can that product be deployed within? Is the product production ready? Does it have production users on it? Or is it just still in beta and not fully supported? How well is the product integrated into the DevOps activities that we talked about and a number of lifecycle phases that you desire to apply automated governance and increased efficiency and productivity? We talked a bit about architecture and how architecture matters, and the web application architecture doesn't necessarily scale up in a cloud environment. It may contain some single points of resource contention that can be bottlenecks. So we need to think if the platform itself is architected in a manner that provides you elastic scale and fine-grained metering of resources. We talked about development of complex enterprise applications as opposed to tinker toy demos, and complex applications usually require a fair amount of platform services, whether it's identity services or business rule services or data services or others. And then lastly, the programming model. And unfortunately, none of the platforms score extremely well in this regard. Google App Engine, which actually shields you from many details and runs you in a very constrained sandbox environment, probably goes the most. But we probably need to step beyond what Java provides today and come up with some new programming paradigms. And lastly, I'd like to open it up for questions. Do we have any questions, moderator?
Actually, throughout the session, we kept getting quite a few questions. I passed on all of them to Paul, so maybe, Paul, you can take the questions together with Chris. It's almost time for the close of the webinar, but I'm sure we can look at a few questions.
So if we can just pop up the next slide while we do the questions. We have a few links that might be interesting where you can download Stratos, how you can contact WSO2 to get more information, and so forth. So the first question I have is, can I configure an ESB on the front end of two Stratoses to provide a routing across multiple PASs? And yes, you certainly can. In fact, that is a deployment pattern that we are actually doing within Stratos Live.